Well, good morning, everyone. I hope that you're doing well this morning, and just want to jump into Psalm 26 because I think we can all identify a little bit with what David seems to be saying here in Psalm 26. He's bringing kind of his defense before the Lord, not so much of a heavy defensiveness or something like that, but instead of trying to right all the wrongs by telling everybody they're wrong or arguing with people. He brings it before the Lord and asks the Lord really to prove to him that number one, the things they're saying about him aren't true. And number two, if they are true, which part of it's true? Because I want to be right with you, Lord. Instead of trying to make people do things or make them pay or even shout them down, he says David gives us a different pattern. Now that doesn't mean we'll never get to speak, because of course we get to speak the truth, but there's a right process, and I think he's given us the process by letting us peek into him going through the process. He doesn't give us a step by step. So do this, do this, do this. He simply does it before us in Psalm 26. So I'm going to read the whole psalm to you, comment along the way, and this is a work that's happening in me, not something I've already got accomplished. And even King David probably had to pour himself through this filter over and over again, because life is crazy and misunderstandings happen. Evil people do evil things too. And so there's an array of things that can happen. And David wanted to make sure he poured himself through God and God, who God is, before he responded and before he tried to defend publicly. Look what he says: "Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try the reins of my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth." And so David's saying, I believe I'm doing it right. I think I'm doing it right. Lord, would you measure me instead of me measuring me? Verse number 4 says, "I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers." That means the concealers, or the people that are walking kind of secretively, doing things behind people's backs or things like that. He says, I've not gone with the people that are doing hurtful things behind people's backs. And so he says, "I have hated the congregation of evildoers and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocency, so will I compass thine altar, O Lord, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving and tell all of thy wondrous works." See, that's when we get to speak. We don't get to speak about the bad things that bad people do from our perspective. We get to speak of the wonderful things that God does and who God is. And then he goes on in verse number 8, he says, "Lord, I have loved the habitation of thy house and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Lord." And so he says, God, I really feel like I'm walking in the right path. Will you deal with the wicked people in my life? Will you deal with those people that are after my hurt? And will you help me process everything else so that I can worship you and I can exalt you and I can proclaim you with a heart of integrity, where I'm not trying to make people pay and I'm not trying to build myself up. Either one of those things. I'm trying to walk with you and to have you receive all the honor and the glory. I think that'll help you have a much better day if you just live trying to please the Lord and allow the Lord to deal with the misunderstandings, the actual wickedness that people do, and things that people do honestly against you. They're trying to do that. Even those people that walk kind of, the word dissembler keeps coming back to me. They walk in a craftiness. They're walking with a cloak or a covering for their actions. God will protect you from them. We're supposed to live with integrity and promote him, praise him, glorify him. And when we do, we will have a much better day. I hope that helps.